Three, two, one. Okay, hello everybody, welcome back to CM42 TV. This is episode number 2 of the 100 Movies Bucket List series where I scratch off all the hidden covers. It's not a hidden cover, it's just a cover. Scratch them all off and talk about the films that are hidden behind the wee cube square things on the poster. So let's do it. Number 2, Raiders of the Lost. Scratch off all the covers on the hidden pictures.
What is it we say?
Scratch off all the sort of covers revealing the hidden image of the film we're about to discuss. Kinda, because it tells you what it says. Ah! It's so complicated yet it's so simple. Welcome back everybody to CM42 TV. This is episode number 2 of the 100 Movies Bucket List series. The series where I, Chris Moffat, the host of the Good Bit podcast, goes through and reveals and reviews and discusses all 100 films on the now world famous, it's going fucking viral since I started this series, not from me, just on Facebook and stuff. We're going to go through that poster right there. And the 100 Movies Bucket List poster is the stimulus for this series. We scratch off all the films, it reveals a nice wee image, a nice wee logo of that film, and we talk about it here on CM42 TV. So today's volume, the classic Indiana Jones film, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Let's scratch off right now. So here we are, as you can see, the only one that's scratched off thus far is Gladiator, which was our first review. Check that out if you've got the time. So let's now scratch off film number 2, which is in the same column as here. Raiders of the Lost Ark, the classic Steven Spielberg film. Let's try and do it now. Oh, I've used my nail and my nail only, which could go horribly wrong, but we're scratching it off. Yo, whoa. The thing with this is I've only got one take to do it. But yes, there we go. It is Harrison Ford in all his glory. I keep fecking getting the one beside it. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings, but it's going to be a while till I get to you, so... There we are. Raiders of the Lost Ark. There's your picture. Indiana Jones himself. Now it's time to talk about the film. Okay, so Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know if I'm going to do that every single episode, filming me scratching off the cover. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it every episode. I'm still trying to find the route of this series and see where it's going to take me. I don't know if I'm going to do every episode. It seems a bit pointless, but we'll see how it goes. I don't know. Raiders of the Lost Ark, episode 2 of this series, not the second film. The first film from 1981, Steven Spielberg, absolute classic action adventure thriller film. Not really a thriller, just it's thrilling to watch. Revelation here. This was the absolutely first time ever I'd ever seen this film. I'd never seen any Indiana Jones films. It's never been on TV whilst I've been in the room. It's never been on at Christmas. It's never been on a birthday. I've never had it on DVD at all. It's just that I've obviously seen bits and pieces, like the main, scenes, running away from the big boulder, maybe, sort of the end sort of shootout scene. Just been in documentaries and obviously over the years studying film, seeing that sort of thing. But in terms of sitting down and watching the films that are under the Indiana Jones banner, this was the first time ever. And I think the original title was Raiders of the Lost Ark, but I think they got so popular and they made 3 or 4 more. It just became Indiana Jones and that, because that's who everybody knows. You don't think when Indiana Jones is on, that's what you say. You don't say it's Raiders of the Lost Ark, you just say Indiana Jones is on. The second one, the third one, whatever. But so this is obviously completely went in blind. Didn't know anything about it other than the fact it's Harrison Ford. I knew, he's the guy in Still Game, as he said. The guy with a hat and the whip. Hi, Zorro! Yeah, obviously the John Williams score adds so much legitimacy to it. Makes it from that sort of daft Steven Spielberg film into being like an absolute blockbuster. And it's funny how soundtracks and films can do that, but it's absolutely true. Look at Home Alone, look at Star Wars, even Back to the Future. These films that are great films and absolutely iconic, but would they be as iconic without that score, without that soundtrack, without it being the thing you listen to whilst you watch the film, And this is another example. And I didn't know John Williams did the score to this film either. I didn't really know anything of this film. And I think that was a good thing and a bad thing, of course. It's good because you're going in
completely blind. And I feel like I'm gonna compare a lot of these films in the series to the first film I watched, which was Gladiator. And I didn't think Gladiator held up as well as it should have done. Whereas this film came out in 1981, Gladiator came out in 2000. So, realistically, if you use common knowledge, Gladiator should hold up much better than this, but it doesn't. This film is set in the 30s, I think, 30s, 40s. And I also didn't know it was a war film either. I didn't know it had involvements of the Nazis and Hitler. They talk about your Führer and all that nonsense. Didn't know that. Didn't know at all. So that shows you what I know about Indiana Jones. But overall, did I enjoy the film? Of course I did. It's Indiana Jones. I went in thinking I was going to get the Spielberg adventure from the 80s. It's going to be Harrison Ford doing his usual. And that's what I got, and I loved it. It's just a shame I didn't watch this film earlier. I feel as if I would have absolutely loved this film as a child, just because of the nature of the film. That's kind of my film, adventures, overcoming obstacles, cheesy dialogue, but also really serious and sentimental parts. It's quite funny at times. Harrison Ford's character, Indiana Jones, is just so badass. The bit where he shoots the guy when you think you're going to get a big sword fight is so Harrison Ford, And of course, being such a big Star Wars fan and being such a big Star Wars guy, Harrison Ford is so iconic as Han Solo, You're going into another film with him playing a different character. I always struggle, I really do. I always struggle with really big characters, even like Mark Hamill and stuff. It's like, what? No, you're not. You're fucking... you're Luke Skywalker, and he's the same. I guess Star Wars is probably the biggest example because it's the biggest franchise that I've been the follower of. I know the most about Star Wars out of anything, that I know, other than wrestling, of course. But you know what I mean. Film-wise, Star Wars is my thing, so it's always really hard. And even the new ones, I feel like Adam Driver is so good, such a good actor that he's kind of fine. I saw him in Logan Lucky and Black Klansman and Midnight Special, and all these films I went to see it because he was in it. And, he was the one that got me there, and he was the one that got me hooked. So he is such a good actor. Boyega is, I guess, more relatable to me because he's a British actor and he's also worked in theatre like myself. So it's kind of like you go to watching films with Boyega as a fan of him. Because of Star Wars as well, it's a weird one. So you watch John Boyega in films and you think Finn, but you don't think Kylo Ren when you see Adam Driver. That's what I'm trying to say. As weird as that sounds, just because Adam Driver's so good. But anyway, Harrison Ford is so good, but that style of acting, late 70s, early 80s acting, is so samey, is so daft nowadays. It's so unlike anything we see now, So even Harrison Ford in Indiana Jones, you do think of Han Solo, sadly. That's what I thought anyway. And I was fine, it's fine. He's such an iconic character, such an iconic actor. That's fine and that's forgiven. It's not going to hinder my enjoyment. The fact that Han Solo is also Indiana Jones, it doesn't hinder my enjoyment. What I'm saying is, you go in thinking it's Han Solo, it's Harrison Ford, let's see what he does. And every time he does like a wee sort of Harrison Ford, Han Solo, Indiana Jones quirk, you kind of go, ah ha ha. Instead of being totally in the film, you know what I mean? So that's the only hindering point of the film. It is a little bit dated, it did come out in 1981, obviously it is acting wise and special effects wise, but other than that, it's pretty fucking good. See when, like the guys are kind of, they see the ghost and the spirit and they start like melting away. That was awesome, like it still holds up great. And Harrison Ford is great, and all the other guys are really good. There's not really a bad performance in this film. But other than that, in things like the absolutely iconic moments, like him running away from the boulder and like the fight scenes and stuff, and even that shot when they finally found the gold mine and he's standing like the typical Indiana Jones pose with the hat and stuff, and you see him in like the sort of the Star Wars sunset. That's what I mean. Steven Spielberg, Lucasfilm, John Williams. It's so Star Wars-like. It's like Star Wars in the desert. He's standing there and you see the sun and you just see his silhouette. It just looks so feckin' epic and unbelievable. That's like Indiana Jones in my head. Yeah, nothing really much else to say. I really enjoyed it, much prefer it to Gladiator. And you should check out, of course, it's just your typical adventure, blockbuster from the early 80s. If you like 80s films, this is perfect. If you like adventures, you like fantasy, this is perfect. Indiana Jones, man. Raiders of the Lost Ark. Unbelievable. Great film. And I don't know if I'll check it out anytime soon. Maybe I'll go back and watch the other ones first. I didn't, absolutely love it. Like, I didn't think it's a 10 out of 10 or anything. It's definitely not one of my favourites of all time, but it's really good. It's really fun. You go in for a good time. You go in for to lose your imagination, just kind of watch the film, and that's what you get. You're lost in the film, and that's all you can ask for in a film like that. It's not amazing. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's not perfect, but it's really good. It's really fun. and it's Indiana Jones, Han Solo, you know, Harrison Ford. So there you go, episode 2, the second film that's scratched off the bucket list poster is Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Tune back in next time for another exciting film review. My name is Christopher Moffat. You can follow me on Twitter at CM42TV. Thanks for watching, everybody. Until next time, stay safe, all of y'all.